I've tried it with an electric.
Oh no, that'll pinch. No.
But then I was stabbing myself.
Yep,
I had like red spots everywhere because I was bleeding.
There you go. And that stings as well.
I think the Scots must be a different breed altogether. We've got an Irishman, Scots, an Irishman, Englishman who are quite happy to see me cutting their ball
Scotland where they go, fuck that, I'm not cutting it off. Shit, like a lump it. Go away. I need to keep that there.
I think that's why Scots wear kilts.
Scotland, the land of bushes.
Yeah. That's why you,
that's why you don't shave it, isn't it? Because you've got kilts, you've got to keep it warm.
No, exactly, yeah. Honestly, I don't know how this conversation went as bad as it did, to be fair, but...
Although, at the end of the day, the reason why waxing probably is worst, just before we move swiftly on to something else, I need to close this one out because it'll play me when we go, and I never told them that, is because, have you ever seen, like, defrosted small chicken? When it's just out of the fridge and has all that plucked skin and it's all really, really sad looking.
Yeah.
That's what your willy looks like after being waxed. It looks like a sad, dead, like semi-adult baby chicken that's all just plucked in.
It's just supposed to be a plug for why we should do it. I'm not feeling the idea of doing it. I'm not going to rush in the night and go, oh, you know what? Wax. Lauren, I get the wax it down. Get my nuts done. It's just not going to happen.
Oh no, well, friends of mine have been known to get what's called a backsack and crack done.
Yeah,
and that's all. Now I'll be going. Hang on a minute. I'm blessed not to be a hairy dude anyway, at all. Anyway, I think I was like 30 before I got a chest hair.
That's tragic, man. See, that's my problem. Mark. My problem is
that's fortunate.
No, loads of hair, all hairy. If I wax one little bit, I just look an idiot. I'd have like all the rest of hairy. Wax. I need to wax my whole body. That's not happening.
You wouldn't notice it. So you're wearing it like a.
Well, I'm not overly hairy, but I've got hairy chest, hairy body, and if I wax my bits and bobs, I need to wax everything because I just look like this bald bit there. Just look odd, and I've got a touch of OCD, so I reckon I'd go. No, I'm going to have to keep going with that.
You would. You'd just carry on. There'd be nothing left.
Symmetrical.
You'd be plucking your eyelashes out.
It'd be a disaster. Honestly. Yeah. First podcast and. I think we've covered maybe 10 minutes of expat stuff, and then we went straight to the boss sacks. I should have known you bring an Irishman in.
Today's show is sponsored by Tweezy R.
Whether you want to do some upkeep between your back sack and crack sessions,
which we all do, or you simply prefer to be more precise in maintaining your sack like our guest Marco Toole, and pluck those little stubborn hairs around your balls out one at a time.
Having a reliable set of tweezers in your bathroom cabinet is essential.
Tweezy are surgically engineered. They're hand-sharpened pluckers that you can rely on.
Don't end up with your balls looking like the last plucked chicken in the store.
Nah, we don't want that. It's not a good look. Choose Tweezy R and make plucking less painful and more precise, and leave your balls like Mark's, not only feeling good but looking damn good.
To order your Tweezy ER surgically engineered tweezers,
go to tweez-er.com and enter promo code EXPATS10 at checkout and receive 10% off your order.
And if you're married and you like keeping your boys clean and tidy, take my advice and buy 2 pairs before your wife steals yours.
Which you will.
So how long did you work in the mines and stuff, Mark? I know you moved around a wee bit, 2 or 3 different places. Did you fly for a good while when you first got here and stuff? Or?
As I said, I went down to Caversham and done that first day. Actually, you can nearly just digress back to that and we could be here bloody all night by times.
How long were you at Caversham?
I was there for, I think, about 8 months, something like that.
Yeah.
And like that, the job was advertised 55 hours a week, 55 grand a year. There you go. Oh, grand.
Was it 55 hours a week?
Yeah, right. It was for 5 days, 4 days. You do your 55 hours.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that 5th day where, hang on a minute, I was here, because it's a very, very busy place. At the time, you're talking, you'd have a wedding there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you might have 3 or 4 in a day on any given day. You've only got 3 chefs and a pastry chef.
So really, you getting a job there, it's like threw you in at the deep end because that was probably the toughest.
I've been in, because you had good direction where you go, all right, it's organised, it's sweet. You're a flat pack, but Richard at the sweet. Do you know what I mean? Where you're not
well organised.
Yeah, you're not left with your balls hanging.
It looks like chaos, but it's not. It's just well organised.
It's organised chaos, but you need the people that you're working with to have the shit wired. Otherwise, it'll go really badly, really quickly.
Yeah.
And again, depending on what kind of position you're in as a chef, you've got chefs that are restaurant chefs. That's all they like doing. they're happy just on pans. You've got people that want to progress and become head chefs, executive chefs, all this sort of stuff. You have people that only want to work functions or only want to work aged care. Or
So there's like an hierarchy to it all, if you
there's different subsectors, we'll say, rather than, say, a hierarchy. Now, there is definitely, say, not quite a hierarchy, but you go, all right, you've got sous chef, head chef, bloody chef de partie, commis chefs, all. So you do have different rank structures, but that's like just your trade qualification, basically, and where you'd be sort of within either a kitchen brigade or even a normal kitchen, where if you're going in as a chef de partie or a sous chef, you'd be sort of a 2IC. If that's where you were at in your career after doing whatever. I think when I moved over here, the amount of people I seen that were head chefs and that were like 19, 20 years of age.
So that's quite incredible, surely. I mean, you can't get to be a head chef at that age.
Yeah, it's all bollocks.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. It's like every other profession. I think that's what, when I first came here, I was saying to Mark, there's so many jobs for surveyors here. And I got all these job offers on a 2-page CV, which is ridiculous. I mean, I know I'm a decent surveyor, but I'm not. I mean, it was just purely demand, So, and you got here, and you find I've came across a lot of really good surveyors as well, but I came across a few that are like, man, you're a senior surveyor. Same with chefs and stuff. When you're 19, you're a senior chef. It's like, you got to ask questions. You're not doing yourself any favours by, being that. You're just a dog's body getting punished.
I think I was coming up, what was I, 20, it's been 29, I think, when I came over. 28, 29, give or take kind of thing, a couple of months. And I got looked at fresh out the boat, looking at all these, worked in the kitchen and going, and I was working with very good European chefs. So I went, fucking hell, this is a standard here. Fuck.
Yeah. You thought it was tough when you first got
here?
Yeah,
I'm going, these boys are shit hot. They know what they're doing. Fucking, I want to be on the ball kind of, you know what I mean? Keep the pace, keep up with them, and kind of prove your worth that you know what you're actually doing. Because again, that was one of the fears coming over going, we don't know if these boys trying fucking stuff kangaroo into crocodile, mix it with fucking snapper and deep fry it with fucking haggis or something. We don't bleed, no.
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I was
you
the same
don't know
when
what
I
you don't
came
know kind of thing. So
yeah, I wasn't sure about the surveying side of things as well. When I came over and think, well, surveying, you turn angles, you read distance, but there's and to be fair, it is slightly different here. It's a steep learning curve when you get here, and then you've got different softwares and things like that as well. So everyone's new, and everyone was so new. I mean, we came here like just in a bit of a whim as well. It was like I searched for jobs, found one. 6 months later, we're here. I was like, how did that happen? How did your missus go when you were away working and stuff like that, Mark?
Her uncle lived here, and auntie lived here, and she'd been over here when she was young as well, on holiday, and then she got on to like. It's not Palms and Perth, like Paddy's and Perth and all this bloody. She'd met a lot of people, and she'd be sort of or play dates or all this sort of jazz. I think for the first 6 months, everybody she knew that she'd sort of been to lunch with or this or that thought I was a fucking figment of her imagination, because I was never there.
Yeah.
Nobody ever seen me for at least 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, that must have been tough. Like
nobody seen me at all.
How was that with the kids and stuff as well, man? Young family stuff.
It was a pain because like that I'd be up before they were up for school, and like that on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'd be up before they are, and I'd be home after they're well in bed kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you'd see them 2 days a week.
Tough then.
I was an absolute nightmare, and you're literally driving back from where I was working on the Reed Highway and stuff at 11, 12 at night in an absolute shitbox that you spent $1,000 on, with the wind that kind of rolled down because the aircon don't work, and you can actually feel the heat and the softness of the road, the tarmac.
Yeah.
You put your feet down and the tarmac's actually squeezed you underneath you because it's like 42 degrees at 12 o'clock at night. You're like, what the fuck is going on here?
Different world, man.
You get home, you have a shower, you get out of the shower, you're sweating. So you go at the back and you're just going. But again, like anything here, if you're not willing to kind of work for it, you ain't getting nothing out of Australia if you're not willing to put your bleeding, put the hours and graft in. You'll get literally nothing. You never will.
Yeah, that's it. If you don't put it in, you don't get it back. I mean, simple as that. I mean, I think everybody, all the guys I've known are the same. They all sort of maybe struggle first couple of years, but not struggle necessarily. But they weren't making any real ground. They're just maybe spinning the wheels. And imagine, good. Like they're still. I mean, most of my friends, that I knew that sort of came over roughly the same time. We only had a couple, but they were all maybe treading water for a little while, a couple of years, still enjoying the sunshine and stuff, but just not really getting forward. We were the same. We were exactly the same. And then you sort of you get to you've kind of gathered all your goods up again, your furniture, your car, and all the rest of it. And then you start just making, and probably only, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years for me that I really felt that we're moving forward now. Before we were kind of treading water a wee bit, and I think a lot of people were the same that I've spoke to.
Yeah, I mean we weren't too bad because we were fortunate where we brought everything with us, and we did have a little bit of money, so, and I was lucky with the job, so kind of everything went smooth. But my wife is just so homesick. She'd go home now. We've been here like 6.5 years now, and she's wanted to go home from the second we got here.
Ooh. She's still here though. She's still plugging.
She's still here, but we actually moved back at Christmas. We are like ping pong poms.
Oh.
So Christmas time, last what?
Yeah, not Christmas here. One before.
Yeah, no. Well, last July we put the house up for sale, and then.
You went full bar, putting the house up for sale.
Yeah,
you weren't thinking about it and putting your toe in. You went full bar. Like.
They were moving back. They moved back.
For sale. We flew back, but I had to come back because the house hadn't been sold. So I got a return ticket, but my wife and daughter had a one-way ticket. Daughter started school. Wife actually got a job, dental nursing. But when I come back, it was too much because they were living with like the in-laws, and because we'd not really got any money because it was all tied up in the house. And my daughter just absolutely hated school. Like she got back with a group of friends she kind of had before we left when she was 8. Like she's 15.
Different circle, different. Yeah. Like from the age of 7 to 14, had different kids.
Yeah.
Look, even from me, from the last 10 years. Well, not the same as it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah.
So friends that you might have had 10 years ago, you'd probably have certain things in common with, or...
Most of my friends back in the UK, they're still all my friends, to be honest. I don't think that will change because we were always very similar. I've had them since I was like 5-6 years old, so we kind of stayed together because we are. But yeah, I felt, before we got here, I was kind of growing out the village we lived in and stuff. It was a great village, nice people, knew everybody in it, which, was really nice, but you just... I think there must be something more to this, and it wasn't Australia for us. It was just that came totally out of the blue. But it was like there must be something more, and I felt I kind of grew out. And then you got here, and I mean, I'm 48, and I suppose maybe I should be maturing, I suppose. But yeah, I've definitely changed since coming here, and your outlook and my view and loads of just people are different. I see people clearer than I used to see them. Probably I used to be a bit more, pigeonhole people a little bit and. Not necessarily in a bad way, but but now open-minded. I mean, it's a very diverse culture we're in. And
for me, the whole process of sort of moving here and say integrating took far longer because you were just working. So you're just homework, and then when you were off, you don't see anybody on the Monday and Tuesday because they're at work. And as to why I do it, it's kind of a case of. No, bollocks. I didn't know anything else. That's all it was. It was like that, or, I don't know, start robbing cars or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was like...
How many people do you reckon are like that? I mean, I fell into surveying completely by accident. Surveying was sort of there, I fell into it, and it's done okay. It got me to Australia, really, at the end of the day. So.
Yeah, well, I'm a roof contractor. That got me to Australia. I absolutely hate the job. But it's just it means to an end, I think, most jobs.
That's it. Most jobs are. I mean, I think vast majority of people are in a job they don't really like.
When you're at school, you have your career advice when you're like 13, 14, or if it's 14, 15.
Yeah, what do you know then?
No one knows. I mean, I reckon if you should leave school at 16 and go and get a job.
So now you're getting a bit of time yourself, you're starting to play football again, and then you gave up more time for 13, 14-year-old kids. I mean, that's impressive.
There was a slightly selfish element where if I'm there, I'm not fucking having a beer and not drinking, and then I'm getting a little bit of extra ball time, and I was on the committee for the club at the time as well, so it's sort of you're helping out to that extent.
What did that involve? Like being part of the committee? Is that like getting sponsors and things?
Oh no, I was just a committee member, so I would assist on Regio Day and set up a this. And I don't know why you were not on the committee. You should be.
No, His
OCD is too much. It'd be nothing would be right. He'd be scrapping everything. Everything would have to start from scratch.
I have been on committees. I'm a nightmare on a committee. I've got a big belief in committees. Is if anybody that volunteers to be on a committee should not be allowed on the committee. Right? You have to be. It should be one of these things you're forced on it. If you're not forced on it, you should not be allowed on it. Right? That's just a view. Mark stepped up because guys were needing it. He never. You're not volunteering as such. You're like, there's nobody else.
For the